What happens when national identity clashes with globalization? In the Postnational Constellation, philosopher Jürgen Habermas argues that the traditional idea of nation-states is evolving, and societies must embrace a new form of democracy that balances patriotism with global cooperation. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, nations can no longer function in isolation. Economic systems, environmental concerns, and political decisions now have global consequences. But how do we maintain national values while engaging in global governance? Today, we'll explore the key ideas from this book: how patriotism is changing in a globalized world, and what we can learn from Habermas's vision. 1. Overview of the book. The Postnational Constellation examines how globalization affects national identity, democracy, and governance. Habermas argues that the traditional nation-state model is outdated in a globalized world. A new form of democracy is needed that integrates national interests with global responsibilities. Citizens must embrace constitutional patriotism, loyalty to democratic values rather than ethnic or cultural identity. This book challenges traditional nationalism and proposes a future where nations work together for common global goals. 2. Key lessons from the Post-National Constellation. 1. Patriotism should be based on values, not borders. Traditional nationalism is based on ethnicity, history, and territory, which can lead to division. Constitutional patriotism means being loyal to democracy, human rights, and fairness, not just national identity. Example: the European Union integrates multiple nations under shared values while respecting diversity. 2. Globalization demands new political structures. National governments alone cannot solve global issues like climate change or financial crises. Example: international organizations, UN, WTO, EU, help nations cooperate for mutual benefit. 3. National sovereignty must adapt to global challenges. Habermas argues that rigid nationalism can block progress. A country can preserve its culture and values while collaborating internationally. Example: countries working together on pandemic response and environmental policies benefit everyone. 3. Why this book matters. This book helps us understand the tension between patriotism and globalization and how societies can adapt. It teaches that responsible patriotism means embracing shared democratic values. Nations must work together rather than isolate themselves. The future of governance is international cooperation, not division. These ideas are essential for policymakers, students, and global citizens navigating the modern world. 4. Real-life application. Consider your own views on patriotism and global responsibility. How can you support your country while promoting international cooperation? 5. Reflection exercise. I think, how does globalization impact my sense of patriotism? I feel, what role do democratic values play in shaping national identity? I will do. What's one action I will take to embrace both patriotism and global unity? 6. Closing thought. A modern patriot is not one who rejects the world, but one who helps shape it. Jürgen Habermas. By understanding post-national democracy, we prepare for a world where patriotism and global cooperation go hand in hand.